the press is very much agenda-driven, you know, but it's come down on ideological lines now where, you know, where the liberals are coming from, you know, where the right is coming from. So somehow, you know, a lot of coverage gets lost in the middle. But we can't set aside our First Amendment and free speech because we're concerned about a couple of idiots like somebody that want to burn the Koran or protest a funeral or there's a lot of kooky guys out there. And the first thing people want to react is they want to ban, you know, certain freedoms. Right. In order to restrict these people. Well,
do you think anybody's entitled to privacy? Should presidents, or in this case prime ministers, be entitled to privacy?
No, I think that you become a public figure because of the action you take, whether it's a job you seek or a particular act that you committed. And you actually give up your privacy, and I'm really tired of these celebrities whining that they're making $20 million a year, and they're whining that they have no privacy. Well, they weren't crying about privacy, you know, when they were broke.
Well, when you get this video, we're already well into the first week of July. But back at the end of June, a magazine was released, adult magazine, celebrating its 50th anniversary, 50 years in the business. And it happens to be a controversial one because, you know, they pushed for freedom of speech, expression of sexuality, you know, sexual health and all that. And what we're talking about is Hustler. Back in 1974, this magazine was put out, you know, of Larry Flynt. They've made movies about him, documentaries. You know, some call him disgusting. Others call him a fighter, a champion for freedom of speech, to that nature. But we're just, if you haven't gotten it yet, they just released an anniversary edition on there with cover. We only could show you part of the cover, obviously, for obvious reasons. But let's read into this off of AVN. Hustlers Magazine's 50th anniversary collector's issue is have set to arrive in mailboxes, we know, on June 27th. Since its first issues hit the stands in July of 1974, Hustlers remain a pillar of exceptional journalism and unapologetic advocacy, publishing creative, groundbreaking layouts, exploring all aspects of sexuality, showcasing diversity, inclusivity long before it became mainstream. From the pioneering of Vegas Folly or trick-or-treat shoots to the controversial Butch, a Black Stud and his Georgia Peach, founder Larry Flynt vision defied social norms and embraced sexual freedom. Throughout the decades, Hustlers presented innovative proto spreads from the thought-provoking of justice to the imaginative lust in space, celebrity-directed shoots in the 1980s, helmed by stars like Dennis Hopper and Frank Zappa, added to the unique flair. The magazine legacy, including stunning shoots in exotic locations such as Avery Adams' ship Shape. As we celebrate 50 years of Hustlers Magazine, I am proud to commemorate our golden anniversary with this very special issue, says Ann Denbach, Hustlers editorial director. Our commitment to Larry's goals of promoting sex positivity and expanding the boundaries of free speech has never wavered. This anniversary is not just to the testament of our resilience and innovation, but also the bold and fearless spirit of everyone who has contributed to the Hustlers' legacy and success. The 50th anniversary Hustler honors 15 standout stars whose beauty and talent have been central to the magazine's success. For those who've gotten a big break in its pages to establish icons in the issue spotlights. Those goes to the following: Abigail Danger, Alexis Texas, Anna Fox, Angela White, Autumn Falls, Ginger Lynn, Jenna Jameson, Jesse Jane, Caden Cross, Kira Noir, Mary Carey, Mia Makovia, Sasha Gray, Stormy Daniels, Sunny Leone, and Vina Sky. Larry Flynt considered cartoons to be vital to the magazines and demanded that they be outrageous, irreverent, and roll on the ground funny, in which they were. This special edition showcases the editorial staff and Larry's favorites. Hustler's July 1976 second anniversary issue launched the iconic Hustler Beaver Hunt amateur photo contest, daring its magazine of its readers by the readers and for the readers, a retrospective of Beavers of the Year in its feature 50th anniversary edition. The two full-length model layouts published in the issue are emblematic of the Hustler appreciation for the exceptional beauty and support of the adult industry. Vanna Bardot, winner of the 2024 AVN Female Performer of the Year Award, graces a 10-page spread titled Going All the Way, shot by this year's model.com. When I heard this pictorial was going to be in Hustler's 50th issue, I was really excited. Bardot said, "To me, the magazine represents sexual freedom, the ability to show yourself how you want to show yourself, not having to abide by society's standards." Remember what she said. This is not a woman that is oppressed by man, that she's being pushed on there. She knows what she wants to do, and this is what it comes to be. AVN's best new starlet this year, Chanel Cameron, is the feature in the 12-page centerfold spread Hardcore, also photographed by thisyearmodel.com. I think Hustler's legacy is about empowering women, often Cameron. That's why all the sex-related work means to me. Everywhere else in society, men are put on pedestals, but women run the show in porn. It reverses the roles in a way. It's kind of cool. And this is true. Most people don't realize. Most people, they criticize the pornographic industry that, oh, it's run by men and stuff like that. Yeah, there are men who, run certain studios, but also there are women that are running these studios as well. Most people don't realize. Some of them have the magazine, some of them aren't. I mean, you can go back all the way, starting at Candina Royale. I met Candina when I was working for a particular production house, and she was just starting her femme production line on there. 3 daughters and all other videos on there. She was a visionary at the time because it wasn't thought about at that time period for videos that she wanted to put out, which made other producers boost stuff that you would see on Skinamax. You have Red Shoe Diaries and stuff like that came out prior and afterwards on there, depending on the production itself. But there was a push to create that kind of content, which was more toward a romantic type on there. And you see this in today's adult film. You have a variation. Yes, you have the hardcore situation. But now you have situations where it's more female-oriented, where it's directed with more romance to the situation. You have the horror end of it as well. You got also you have other features types, other classifications that are out on there that has changed the industry. That's pushed it forward to being separated to more mainstream, adult content. Let's finish this off. Publisher Larry Flynt editorial urges Americans to reclaim the flag from the far right, emphasizing the true patriotism embodies the free speech and cannot coexist with censorship. This is where I kind of semi-disagree with this part of it, highlighting the alarming trends like book bans, the decline of independent journalism, and the spread of misinformation. It criticizes the MAGA movement for undermining freedoms under the guise of patriotism. Now, understand this. before we let me finish the line. Reflecting on the 5 decades of advocating for freedom, the editorial underscores the ongoing battle to preserve fundamental rights in America. Now, understand this. And the person who wrote this on there, I think, what is it? Let me read back onto this. Peter Warren. Understand that when it comes, they talk about the MAGA movement. You have people with different ideologies in the movement. It's the same thing with the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, conservative, libertarian. Everybody is not going to coincide with one method of ideology. And that's always been that situation. The challenge is to find a part that we can all agree on and not violate the Constitution. Now, there are those, and whether you like the former president or not, understand he has made a mark on the political front when it comes to it. He has made a lot of changes which basically allowed to improve this country. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you'd vote for it or not, you have to agree. Some of the things, as controversial as it is, help to improve this country. Now, there are those on the left and the right that don't want stuff like Hustler to be out there. Because remember, there was the movie The People versus Larry Flint. If you get a chance to watch that, Woody Harrelson does a great job on that as Larry Flint. But that's true for what happened to him. Think about this for a second. People they criticize. They said, "Well, guys just don't read the articles on these Playboy, Penthouse, Hustler. They don't read the articles." But the thing about it is, there's some great articles out there. There's some great articles in the years that Hustler has been out, and same thing with all other adult magazines. Because remember, these magazines base themselves on freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Of course, they're going to talk about it in their magazine. Of course, they're going to have beautiful women, covering their pages of their magazine as well. Remember, there are male versions of it. They don't talk about the male version. They don't talk about Playgirl. They don't talk about any of the other magazines that don men in their naked men on their pages. They don't. They always put to the point that women are undermined, that basically they're enslaved and stuff like that. But they don't talk about men. They don't talk about the LGBTQ community. They don't talk about that at all. Why is that? Because they're using it as a political fire. They're using it political ammunition to shut down freedom of speech. Take it from someone who's seen some of these wars up close, who was around when they went after Robin Bird and the gay cable network. And what happened when they tried to put adult content on VHS tape and DVD, the fights there. And then, of course, the fights going onto the internet that we have today. Understand, there's always been someone, somewhere, that doesn't want this content out there. And other things. They don't want horror films out there. They don't want action films out there. They don't want action films with guns in them shooting. How many times have you heard, companies say, well, we're going to reduce the amount of shooting on there. We're not going to use real guns on the set and this, and that, and the other thing. It's all political, it's all political ammunition. This is what they do, especially in an election year. This is an election year. Remember that. You've seen a lot of age verification laws get pushed out there. What are they after? They say they're after the porn, but they disguise it and they say, well, it's adult content we're after. We're after the adult content. That's the porn. No, adult content means any content, whether any media format, whether it is magazine, newspaper, video, movie, music, anything that is expressed for anyone of 18 and over. Remember that. This is the things Larry Flynn and many others have been harking on for many years now. When you see the cover of, Hustler magazine, their anniversary, patriotism equals free speech. Because people have a problem with this when it's patriotism, nationalism, because basically they don't understand the Constitution. They think and I said this before, their thought pattern of the Constitution is freedom of speech, but, and you can add anything to the end of that. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech. It doesn't matter whether you agree with it, disagree with it, you find it offensive, obscene to that nature. It is freedom of speech that basically, as long as you're not dictating to violence, where basically, you're calling for the violence and death of anybody, you can spew any of this you want. You want to be racist? Sorry, we're not going to like it. But the thing about it is, there's nothing against the Constitution to stop you from doing that, from saying bad things against other people. Think to the perspective when you hear that situation when they say, well, they promote hate and all that. What if I hate an apple? Is that hate speech? Would that be considered hate speech? Think about that for a minute. An inanimate object, if I hate that, would not that be the same way as I say if I hate someone who happens to be of a different minority? People will say, well, that's crazy, but it's crazy when you think that if someone doesn't like somebody, okay, fine, they don't like them. Okay, you stay away from them. That's the thing. I lived in the South for 10 years, and I met a mixture of people, some that are very racist and some that are not. The people that were racist, I stayed the hell away from, and that's what you do. If you know what they're talking, what they're saying and stuff like that, to stay away. This is how you know people. We have to have a two-way conversation when it comes to all of this. And when you look at the pages of Hustler, besides it has some sexy women on there, you look to the point that they've discussed in cartoon form, in article form, guest writers, people who have done shoots for them. Like I said, they said Dennis Hopper, Zappa, many others who have worked on the pages of Hustler. You've seen what they've put down on ink and paper. And and this is a fight that is still, this is 2024. This is, this magazine started in 1974 and it's 2024 and we're still talking about it. Things were going better, and then suddenly, you get to some progressives and stuff like that. They get into office and think that they know better for you. No, you, the politician, you, the congressman, congresswoman, president, mayor, governor. We elected you. We hired you. You didn't hire us. We like it says on the top of there, we the people. They've lost sight of that. They've lost sight of that because of money and power. And the thing about it is, the American public is starting to realize that on both sides of the aisle. You already had someone like Jamal Bowman. He lost his bid to move on into the elections in was it November? I think is the next one on there, and he's going to lose his congressional seat. This is it. It's over for him. This is a guy who basically stopped a congressional vote, by pulling the fire alarm and said, I didn't realize it was a fire alarm. Bullshit. Come on, really? This is the squad. This is what they do. AOC is going to move on, but let's hope that she doesn't get voted in for another term, because we don't need people like that. That sit there and they do what they. She doesn't even spend time in her own district. Ask the people of Roosevelt Avenue in Queens. Have they seen Ocasio-Cortez with all the prostitution, crime, and everything that's going on in that district? Has she been there? No. No, there are other officials that have been there and saying, "Where is she? She should be here to the situation." No, meanwhile she's worried about what they think of her on the freaking internet, because of all the AI pictures and stuff like that, and she's hanging out in Hollywood or dancing around in the middle. What you saw over the 2 weekends ago when she was dancing around before the elections. I tell you, Bill Clinton kind of ruined it for a lot of people because when he was on Arsenio, and it was cool that he was playing the saxophone and all that, you didn't see that from a president. But now everybody wants to step it up a notch. But you've gone too far. Remember that. You've gone too far. The insanity. You look like a horse's patoot, when it comes to the situation. But, like I said, Hustler has been, a forefront when it comes to freedom of speech. But they still get no respect for the articles they've put onto there and the freedom of expression of the body itself. Remember, these are pictures that, technically it's considered art. People said, well, no, it's not art, it's pornography. No. People don't talk about naked yoga. They don't talk about, some of the other photographs of naked women, naked men that have been put in art museums. Remember that. This is in a way, an art book in itself with articles. Yes, it is sexual expression. But something? Should not be taboo, should not be afraid to be talked about. Even in the family home, there's a time and a place for you to sit down with your kids to teach them about what they call the birds and the bees. And you do have to discuss it. And then when they get into high school, they take biology. They have to learn somehow. They have to learn between what's right and what's wrong. They have to learn between what reality is and fantasy, and that's what the porn industry gives. The difference between reality and fantasy. So let me know in the comments below your thoughts about this. Are you an avid reader? Have you ever gone before? Have you never heard about it before? Let me know in the comments and let me know your thoughts about freedom of speech on there. So don't forget to hit that like, share this video, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support, and bye-bye now.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and sharing this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe as this helps the reach of this channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have the ability to help support this channel as new internet laws around the world will diminish our reach and affect our sponsors. If you choose to help, there are 2 ways listed in the description below. The first link will lead you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will lead you to our gear shop where you can buy shirts, mugs, and other gear. Discounts will be listed on the site. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.